Hello, everyone. Mark from Avalaunch here. Today, we are joined by Viet Anh from Islander. He's the CEO and founder of Islander. Islander is our next IDE. The IDE is something we're doing that's a little different. So instead of an IDO, it's an IDE, Initial Distribution Event. And the idea here is for Avalaunch to just fully, as much as we can, publicly support and invest in projects that we think are important, really believe in, respect the team, so much that we want to just allow our community and our holders to have kind of exposure at our cost. And I think that says a lot about what you guys are doing and who you are. And we've known each other for a long time now, and I've watched this project come together, which all led us to kind of dream up this very unique event, which I think says a lot about who you are, because we tend to be pretty careful about who we work with, and that's for good reason. And I'm really interested to give you the opportunity to talk more about Islander and what it's all about and your background. So let's just kind of start there, right? So we have Islander. It's a pretty complex application and network, a relationship network around the application that feeds into all this. And I want to just learn about who you are, your background, how you came to not just build this, but be the guy to build it.
Yeah, sure. I think so. Yeah, first, before we start, I want to say thanks to Mark personally, and also to the Avalanche team. For giving us the opportunity, not only like today. I mean, like this is just sort of like the like one event, one incident of our partnership. I mean, it has been going on for like, we have known each other for like half a year, and there was like a lot of things that I learned from you, and also from Dave, and from the Avalanche team in general. Your approach in community building, in like building what a sustainable like project, and I really feel honored and appreciative, because we have the opportunity to work with you guys at the end of the day with the IDE, as you mentioned previously. So yeah, first, just want to say thank you, because this is just sort of like the best way to kickstart our journey, probably in the crypto world with our project Islander. And to say a bit about myself, I mean, like basically I'm the, right now you know me as a CEO of Islander, but in Vietnam people know me more as CEO and founder of Spydrum, which is a platform for people to write and share ideas, knowledge, and discuss in a constructive manner. So it could be in Vietnam, people call it like the medium of Vietnam. So we have like a community of like more than 100,000 members, and like a lot of articles written by the community and contributed by the community, things like 50K or something. And with that amount of content we have, so we also build like YouTube channels, Facebook and TikTok, etc., Instagram. And in total we reach around like a few million people monthly. So we have experience building communities before. So basically the team behind Islander is a team that is behind Spyrum in Vietnam. So we started this Islander journey because as community builders ourselves for like 5 to 6 years in Vietnam with that case, we realized that there has always been the pain point, like you want to build a community, but it's very hard, very difficult if you build a traditional sort of like web environment, and then you want to incentivize people to participate in everything that you're doing. Say like we have always been struggling with the fact that we have a big community, but we cannot incentivize people. We cannot take the advantage to kind of like make use of all the strength that we potentially have. So that's why it came to when I first came to like crypto as a, I don't know, just retail investors trying to learn about the technology, seeing projects, invest in some projects. I was seeing that, okay, cool, if we can leverage this technology breakthrough to kind of like apply into the community of ours, then probably we can solve a lot of problems that, you know, community builders like ourselves in the past are, you know, like facing. So that's why we came to the idea of Islander, and we want to build it to become, you know, something that not only serve the crypto world and crypto projects. Of course, when we start, we will focus on the crypto projects, supporting crypto projects, because, you know, it is a good place to start, and we should not like try to do things that are, we need to have a strong ground before expanding to non-crypto world, right? But at the end of the day, what we want to do is like bring that solution out there to test in you know, spaces like Spyroom, and then when we optimize, when we find solution, we will support communities similar to Spyroom out there in the world, and very excited to see that coming in the, you know, coming months.
Yeah. Yeah, the background with Spider-Man is really interesting. And I'm just wondering, you know, how does, if at all, Spider-Man, the community you guys built there, the technology, that strength, does that translate at all to what you're doing with Islander, or would you look at these as two separate endeavors entirely?
To be honest, I mean, like we learned a lot during the way. I mean, like because one of the key things with Spyroom is it's sort of like the combination between tech and also community building. So we have solved the problem that we are currently solving in with Islander. For example, I can tell you this one. Say in the past, we have solved the chicken and egg problem of, you know, if you want to build a platform, basically you have to attract content creators. But in order to attract content creators, you have to, you know, attract the audience for them, right? So that there should be a way to kind of like balance and try to solve the two sides at the same time. So we solved it with Spyroom in the past through, you know, partnership. You know, we partnered with some, you know, communities, existing communities of content creators, and we also help them to, you know, reach out to our audience, because we make other partnership with the audiences, right? With some like content consumer audiences, and we try to match between them. So we apply the same kind of concept here when it comes to Islander. So in order to, let's say, attract the projects partner to partner with us and do certain activities on the platform, we need to have the audience, right? And in order to have the audience, we have to have good projects. So because of that similarity, and we have solved the same kind of you know, things in the past, so we have experience here, and I think it kind of like shortened a lot of time and effort for us to kind of like reach to this current level. And at the same time, you know, it's a long time, right? It's like 5 to 6 years we have been building that project, and there was like, you know, there were time when it was like super difficult. It was like time when we couldn't, you know, make money, right? We couldn't like make enough money to be sustainable, and we had to like leave and then work part-time in you know, in some full-time jobs, and only, you know, spend a bit of time on Spyroom. And through, you know, those kind of hardship and challenges, we keep the core team at the end of the day, right? So it has been a team that has been working together for a long time and has a synergy. And also, you know, because we're building a community there with, you know, I think integrity and honesty as a key points guiding us through the whole journey. So basically, we attracted quite a lot of talents from the community itself, who, you know, not only have the expertise in you know, like expertise in what they're doing, but also they have the same kind of mindset. So I think it's very important, because normally team is one of the biggest, I think maybe is the biggest factor contributing to the success of the project. And by you know, team here, it means not only, you know, the expertise, but also the attitude and the way that you guys can work together well. So we have certain advantages in that sense, because, you know, it has been tested. It has been like going through a lot of things, and we're very close, you know, working very well with each other. We respect each other, and yeah, so that's why I think it contributed a lot to, you know, what we are building right now.
Cool. And so tell us about Islander. You know, what is it? You know, what's the problem that you guys are solving with it? How does it evolve past Spider maybe, and draw from your experiences? And why is this a useful product for the crypto industry right now?
Sure. I think so. In short, I mean, Islander is a decentralized, like a platform for marketing and learn-to-earn activities. So basically, we utilize gamification to make the concept more like fun and engaging to the people. So in the world Islander, it's like a world with thousands of unpopulated islands, and each one represent a crypto project. So basically, the logic here is that if you're a project owner, let me like the Iron Lord, you need to kind of like attract more and more people to engage with the to your islands to make it more developed, right? But basically, the idea is you potentially need to attract the right kind of people who understand, who or at least like spend time to understand about the concept, your project, and helping your project to grow as well. So basically, we provide tools for projects to do so by allowing them to create different kind of quests to engage with the audience. For example, like the quests that we are currently supporting and will be launching very soon at the end of this month is things like social tasks like Twitter, Telegram, Discord, Medium, etc. And also like a questionnaire. So it's like learn and earn activities on Binance or Coinbase, but basically it's going to be run automatically, and projects can just put in some questions, and then they can set the percentage of let's say like correctness, correct answers, or set in the the number of questions to be picked from the question list, to make sure that it's not like very easy for people to kind of like answer. They have to spend time, learn, and try to go through some documents, some materials to make sure that they can get it right. So in that sense, I do think that if we provide tools for projects to create those kind of things, to introduce, like let's say when you have a new feature, you want to make sure that people understand it, you can create a quest there, for people to share about that, and also for them to answer a questionnaire about that part. And also we also support tasks related to token. For example, right now it's tasks related to token holding. So for example, you can just distribute rewards to people who hold, like let's say like 1,000 Sava, for example. And then we give the tools for the projects to create whatever they want, to engage with their audience and incentivize the audience to interact and help them in marketing, and also like educational activities. So that's how it works. And also for project for people, for users, they can earn when they do those quests. That's what we call learn to earn. And also at the same time, they can share about those as well. Say like if they find this quest very like interesting, and they want to share with their friends, they can come to Islander, they come to that quest, they mint a link, and then they share that affiliate link to their friends, walk them through, and then when the friends like finish the quest, they will get some rewards as well. So all of those will be done automatically, and that saves a lot of time and effort for the projects, and at the same time for the people who wants to kind of like get information about different projects out there in the market. I cannot hear you. Is it, are you?
Yeah, my microphone's being stuck. So when you're talking about these big ideas, these big concepts, they're very clear and concise now. And I often wonder about how these things kind of come together when they're less formed, and how they translate to a bigger, refined, kind of polished product. And so, what can you tell us about like the first weeks and months of this project? How did you move it from, spider to the idea in your head, to the improvements, to the actual execution around the project, leading to us meeting, however many months after that?
I think yeah, it's a long journey. It's not like because we are startup founders, and I think startup founders understand the most. I mean, you never start with an idea and then that's the end of it. So it started the same for us. So at first, we had different idea. What we want to solve at first is starting from Spyrum. We want to create a sort of like a platform or somewhere where people can kind of like content creators can own their content, and then for example like mint some tickets to sell the access to their content. So that's a starting point for us. But then we came to this market, we learned about it, and we have some advisors, and we're talking about the idea, and then they were saying that okay, that could potentially be very it could be a good next step. But basically, for at the very beginning, we need to have a community. We have to build a community, and we have to solve a problem that is existing right now, not only in the traditional sort of like web and traditional world, but also in the crypto world. So that's when we came to the idea of okay, what if we apply the same concept of like trying to leverage the power of the community, but then apply it in the context of crypto. So basically, what we see was most projects, they cannot leverage their community to the full power. I think Avalanche is one of the rare projects out there that I think that are doing so well and very impressively, in a way that you are connecting and leveraging the power of your community. But most projects don't have that in mind, and they haven't done it well enough. So that's when we come to the idea that okay, maybe we can probably provide something that could help the projects to engage with the audience, to build a stronger bond, to make audience understand. Because at the end of the day, if you can make your audience and your community understand of what you're doing, of the philosophy, of like your intention, everything, I think it's everything will be solved if that understanding is strong, that bond is strong. So we want to add another layer there, because based on our expertise and based on our experience, we believe that you don't have to attract a lot of people. You just need to attract the right ones. Even if you don't have a huge like 100K or 200K or million of followers on Twitter, you don't have to have like those numbers. You can have just much smaller but more tight and strong community, which in many cases are even better. So we want to build something that could help projects to get there. And so yeah, it started from that idea. And of course it had been through like a lot of things, because we have to build a team, and we have to like learn about the crypto world, because not I'm the guy who has some prior experience in this space. But to be honest, my team at first, they weren't like all of them weren't very knowledgeable in this market. And of course, in terms of like community building expertise or technical expertise, maybe they have enough ideas and knowledge and experience. But in this space, of course, there are some different ways and different things that we have to learn and learn fast. So it was a that's why our project has been around. I met you like I think half a year, and you can see that we have changed a lot along the way. And you have seen that my team have also changed a lot in the way they approach everything, because we were learning, right? We were we don't, for me, it's something that I'm very proud of, because we stay true to that. I mean, we don't try to pretend to be someone that we are not. Yeah. We keep an open mind and we learn. And if there's not something that we don't understand, we ask people who have more experience. I was like bugging you with inbox, right, all the time, asking about different things from small to big things. And I learned a lot through that. And the same kind of mindset applied in my team. So it was a long journey to kind of like learn and build a team, and try and errors. Of course, we were building product. We run on testnet. We try to give it to people. We demo the product to the projects, get the feedback, the real feedback from the beneficiaries who are going to use our product to make it a better better one. And right now I think it has been a pleasant journey to look at, and I'm very happy that we have gone through it.
I really appreciate you guys' appreciate and respect really the humility and the willingness to be a student and make mistakes in the right ways and have those be and make them at the right time, and have those be constructive experiences. A lot of people just don't have the patience for that. They want to go. no matter what. And I've always really appreciated that about you and your team. So tell us on the Islander platform, how do you guys incentivize this? How does the actual architecture, as far as the ISA token, incentivizing creators, getting people to stay on the platform? Tell us about how that's designed and how you landed on that design.
So I do think that this questions is about sort of like the utility in the sort of like the economy of ISA token in the platform, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, basically, I mean, the ISA token is sort of like a currency in the world, what we call the island world. So basically, it could be used for different purposes. For example, like for projects, it could be used to buy like services from us, like customizations of your islands, or like extra sort of like marketing services, because we have a community and we have experience as well that could potentially help, especially like new projects when they first come to the market, because we were there before and we knew like for sure that it was a hard like journey where everything was like very ambiguous and very new. So if we can help them in some sense, that would be cool. That's something we love to do as well. So that's for project, and also for users, they can use our tokens to pay for certain things on the platform. For example, if you want to do certain quests, or if you want to like retry or something, you probably you can spend some tokens here as well. Of course, at the very beginning, we don't want to create so much friction, so it's going to be free for everyone, because we need feedback. We need to get people to be familiar with the concept. But later on, we'll introduce a fee structure here, because the logic here is, if you are making money, then it makes sense to invest a small amount of money. And it's also it show commitment as well. It's kind of like it for us is like creating a barrier of entrance, so that we don't want to make it like too easy for everybody to participate. Because in that sense, if you make it, I think in your case you might understand, because for project owner, sometimes if you make the entrance too easy, then basically people will just come and they just don't take effort, right? They just don't make effort. And at the end of the day, I think we don't want to kind of attract those kind of people. So we want commitment here. So there will be like fees like that, or fees to kind of like mean link to share and earn some more like from referrals. So yeah, those kind of things could be used in our token. And also in the future for content creators, they can mint NFT tickets to access the exclusive content, and then they can sell those kind of tickets in our tokens. So yeah, quite a lot of things use case here for payment. And then at the same time, we'll have like a staking mechanism. So basically, people can stake our token to not only earn more ISA token, but at the same time to have higher benefits in the platform. So basically, for example, if you stake, you can tier up, right? And then if you are at the particular tier, you might have this limit of quests to be done like a week, and this limit of link that you can mint in a week, or this amount of tickets you can mint in a week. But then if you stake in, means you believe in this ecosystem, you believe in what we're building, then you have higher benefits. It means that you can earn more if you are if you spend enough time. So those are the things that we're going to introduce soon. And we also have a burn mechanism, in a way that as a platform, of course, we will in the future will collect platform fee. Let's say for projects who's coming to do like airdrop, or to do learn to earn activities, learn to earn campaigns on our platform, and distribute their tokens to the community. Then we can collect a part of that in platform fee, and those platform fee we can convert a part of that into our token and then burn them. Because basically what we want is to reduce supply in the long run, with the logic that if we can increase the total demand by expanding the platform, the popularity of Islander, helping more projects, then total demand will increase while total supply will decrease. So I do think that in that sense it would be like beneficial for like holder of our tokens in the long run.
And what about, what do I want to understand a little more clearly, or I want the audience to understand, why, like if I'm a project, right? Like what is the application? I come to the application, I want to engage, my community through Islander. Like, could you just give us a feel for what that looks like and what you might expect as a project owner?
Sure, sure. So right now, I mean, like, for example, let's put this one as an example. If you, let's say, if you introduce a new feature and or you're a game, you introduce a new sort of like mechanism, something, and you want people to test it, and you want people to give you feedback, or if you want people to kind of like understand that, okay, this is a mechanism and you should do it, you could try it. So in the best case, I mean, we will, of course, for the first version, we like we don't have enough like everything set up in place, but we will introduce more and more tasks in the future to come. But basically, for example, you can create quests for people to share news about your improvement, your development, and that's one thing on Twitter, Telegram, whatever. And also, like you can also like create a questionnaire, so people have to understand the idea, right? In order to finish those. And then at the same time, you can also have some token related sort of tasks as well. For example, if let's say you introduce a staking program, then maybe you can ask people to stake, and then when they stake, they do it. I mean, or they can make a trade or something. Then probably they will they will get some rewards as well. And at the same time, you educate them to actually use your function, use your new feature. So I think in that sense, it's going to be beneficial for everyone. But yeah, that is sort of like the mechanism, the core thing. But we want to apply a bit of gamification here. So what we want to do, what we will do, actually we are building right now, is like the more people who are doing quest, it's like building building the island to be more developed. So it will be represented by our art as well. So we will potentially give the customization sort of ability for our partner as well, project owners. Say when you first come to Islander, maybe you have this set of this island, maybe a small island, and then you have these elements like trees or a tent, boats, very small one, and then you can play around, you can put it in a way that you want it. But then when you increase the number of residents, participants that are coming through your learn to earn activities, then you can earn more sort of like elements from outside to put in your islands to make it more developed and strong. And so it feels like what we want to do is we want to also in the future to have the audience to actually have some interaction with that art, that island as well. So we want to create a sort of like a social game here. People feel like, okay, I'm building this thing together with the team, and the team at the same time they have like the representation of their effort, or the representation of their like contribution here in Islander. So I really think that if we can do it, it's going to be fun and it's going to be more engaging. It's going to create a stronger bond between like community and also from project owners. So yeah, in that sense, I do believe that it's going to be good for the sustainable growth of the project.
And what, I know you guys went through a test net. You used that as an opportunity to build, get feedback on the product, put it in front of other teams, improve, figure out where more need was. What has beyond that, right? What has the development process looked like so far? What of the platform is complete, and how do you think about prioritizing things that you want to build but haven't built yet?
Yeah, so I think right now we are kind of like we're ready for launch, but right now we're testing, right? And there will be like more to come. But basically our plan is to launch on mainnet at the end of this month for the first version. So that's, I mean, like it's good enough for like first usage. I mean, like with basic features for projects to, as I said, like some social tasks, some token related tasks, also some questionnaire, which I think which is enough for people to play around and also like understand about the concept, like everyone, not only project owner but also the community. And I think that is the first priority for us right now, trying to get that get that product out there, because based on our experience, a product is never going to be perfect if you don't push it out there to the market and listen to real feedback from the people who are using it. So we want to make sure that we have a good product and also good like tutorials. And so right now we are building not only a product, but we're building like tutorials and videos to kind of like walk people through to educate people about our product when it is roll out. So yeah, I think that's a priority right now, and we want to make sure that it's going to be cool, because it's going to be our first ever sort of like exposure to the world. And it's, for us, it's just a very beginning, because to be honest, development is continuous, and what we want to achieve is far from what we have achieved so far. So very excited, because right now, we have expanding the team, and we have new people coming in with a lot of like experts as well. So basically, for the next step, we will listen to the feedback from the market. We'll fix what we currently, maybe like still have trouble. Hopefully not, because we have a testing team like running full capacity right now. But still, if it happens, we still have to like handle it very quickly. But yeah, so yeah, basically get it run stable in sort of like a stable stage, and basically after that, I think our main focus is to increase the amount of tasks that we could help our projects to customize, because the amount of tasks right now, I think that's enough for start. But I'm, based on my understanding and based on my observation of the market as well, I do think to increase the engagement with the community, there are a lot more things that we could do, and that's all in our roadmap right now. And after that is one priority after launch. And then another priority is like putting that gamification part into the platform. And art and the gamification is going to be like huge, and it's gonna make it more fun and engaging and reach the target that we want to reach. And that is another things that we are currently building right now. We're currently testing and trying to implement soon after launch, hopefully in 1 or 2 months probably. So it will completely change the projects in a way that that is, I think it's going to be very interesting. And also, another thing that we want to prioritize is probably like introduce features for content creators, because right now, if you see, it's the product is more focused on supporting project owners, and also for influencers or users, individuals. But for content creators, we actually have the MVP of that product ready, because as I said, it was sort of like the initial idea, and we have the MVP already. But basically right now the development has there was like a lot of changes, so we have to visit that again. We have to improve it. We have to try to plug it in the current solution, and it takes a bit of time. But yeah, for us, I think it's very important as well, because one of the very, very big milestone for us in this year is that we have to find a solution and plug in Spyroom. And Spyroom is a community of content creators, so we have to support the content creators, and we have to support them well. And for us, is very important.
Yeah. So you've talked about a little bit about the staking and the tiers, the burn mechanisms, but let's go into more detail about the ISO token, its utility, how it serves the protocol, and why someone would want to hold it.
Sure. So yeah, I think I was like talking about the token utility before, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but there's also the part of questions that why are people, why should people hold ISA token?
Right.
So basically, sorry. So basically, I mean, like the logic here is, I mean, like, as I said, one of the very important philosophy, the concept here is that we want to increase total demand in the future, because we can do it by, you know, getting the either more popular in the crypto world and outside of crypto world as well. Because let's say if we can plug in and we can tokenize the whole like economy for Spiral, we could do the same things for, you know, other communities out there in Vietnam, outside Vietnam, in the world, in Turkey, everywhere we can have partners to do it. So the popularity of the token, the usage of the token for, you know, to fund for events, fund for like, let's say like different activities in the ecosystem is going to be higher along the, you know, along the way. But at the same time, you know, we want to decrease the total supply by, you know, burn mechanism, because, you know, when the platform is growing, people will be, there will be like more transactions coming in the ecosystem. It means that there more tokens will be burned, right? So the total supply is actually will increase, will decrease at a you know, an increased rate as well. So what we want to see is if we can do it, then basically, I mean, like the value for the people who are holding our token will be higher in the long run, because, you know, it makes sense to think that demand is, you know, spiking while, you know, supply is decreasing. Then of course the price will you know, go up.
And of course, I have to ask, right? You know, this is a very community-driven project. You know, it really is designed to foster and support the projects and people involved. So, you know, why did you build this here on Avalanche? You know, why was this the place that you decided that Islander was best suited?
I think there are a few reasons. I mean, at the very beginning, and I mean, like, to be honest, at the very beginning, the decision wasn't very sort of like clear at first. But the more I've been interacting with the people in the Avalanche ecosystem, the more I feel like this is the best decision so far, because of the, you know, at first we were just thinking that, okay, Avalanche is sort of like very like tiny like ecosystem at the moment, and growing very fast, but, you know, like so basically it's not overcrowded, so we can certainly get a lot of partnerships with, you know, top projects, with, you know, at which is could potentially not potentially, you know, not the case in other crowded chains out there. And then another thing that was impressive to us is that I think the Avalanche people is, you know, they're all builders. There are more builders here. I mean, the people here in Avalanche, I do think that the approach of Avalanche project is the right one. I mean, when you put community first and you really like try to build and kind of like balance between sort of like community building and you know, like educating the community, I think not so, I don't see it as in many sort of like projects out there in other ecosystem. So we believe that, you know, if we choose Avalanche, it's going to be a right choice, because that's our philosophy as well. You know, as community builder, we understand that in order to build a sustainable community, you have to be open, you have to have a clear plan, you have to communicate your plan clearly to the community, and you have to kind of like build community with dedication. And I do believe that if we build on Avalanche and learn from that approach, then it's going to be good for us, because you like you guys, for example, you know, Avalaunch or other projects in the ecosystem, basically you are sort of like the magnets to kind of like attract the right kind of people that you know, we could potentially want to attract as well. So it would be like much better to if we could like let's say like try to do it here in Avalanche instead of like somewhere else. So yeah, and also another part is because, you know, Avalanche is growing, so new projects are coming, and we are projects that, you know, like supporting other projects. I think it makes sense for us to kind of like start here when the potential, the growth potential is still high.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's is another reason.
And I think we all, expect this to be a well-used platform with lots of different people. Anyone can use it, right? It's designed to be inclusive, and so naturally there's going to be a lot of content on there and a lot of different things happening. And I'm wondering if you guys have any systems in place for, let's say, quality control, but also to surface and highlight, really good content, really strong communities.
Sorry. So yeah, basically, I think what we want to build is we potentially, we want to create an economy to incentivize people to do it, the community to do it, because it's as you said, it's a community-driven platform and community-driven project. So what we want to do is, in the future, of course, we want to create sort of like a mechanism for people to become reviewer as well on the platform, so they can help. So we don't want to, let's say, like make our own judgment, like everything here. We want to utilize, as I said, utilizing the power of the community, give them the right incentives to do it, is the best way to grow, and is the best way to grow sustainably, because at the end of the day, you cannot like manage everything. You cannot do everything. And that's our approach. And we will do it through, like trying to empower our users, giving them the right kind of incentive, making them, like the supporters and the reviewers, and they can earn through those kind of activities on our platform. So yeah, those are the things that we will introduce later in along the way.
Very cool.
And also, like let me add one more thing. I mean, like,
sure,
in terms of projects, right? There will be like we need to partner with good projects as well, right? So basically, I think one way to do it is through the partnership that we have with strong partners like for example like Avalaunch, right? Or basically through that, it's like it helps us a lot in trying to kind of like narrow down and try to find the kind of right projects that are going to like be good and going to like provide a lot of values to the community. We don't want to attract, like, for example, like scam projects or something, right? So what we want to do is, through a massive sort of like network that we're going to build with our trusted partner, there'll be like quite a lot of screening, so like natural, so like screening there for us to make sure that we can partner and we can work with some good ones. Of course, it's not like 100% sure like this project is going to be successful, project is going to be huge, but at least the projects that we want to work with are the ones who are serious and who try their best and be honest with what they're doing. So yeah.
Got it. And so the platform itself is almost ready or complete. The IDE is coming up here shortly. Registration is closed. So everyone's kind of wondering, what to expect next. You guys have a pretty detailed roadmap, some public commitments about, what you guys are deploying, building, and when. But just in the broadest senses, like what can the community expect in terms of those deployments, and how soon do you think these things will come out one after the other?
Yeah, so I think the first step, the first milestone that the community and users should be like expecting is maybe the launch of our product on mainnet. So there'll be like quite a lot of events that we will do there as well, like some events to educate our users about Islander, events that we do with our partners in order to help them educate their users, at the same time educate about Islander as well. So yeah, those are the big events that people should pay attention to, because there will be like quite a lot of rewards tied to that, and we want to do it to actually like find more insights to improve the product as well. So that's a very big things that people should kind of like expect us in the short term. At the end of this month we'll run on mainnet, so there will be a lot of campaigns. First, campaign from Islander team to educate about Islander, and campaigns with for example your Avalanche, Trader Joe, Pangolin, etc. To educate and to get people to be familiar with the concept of Islander and how Islander works. So yeah, that's the first thing. And then of course we will, as I said, we will continue to introduce new features and continue to introduce like gamification or features for content creators, and that will be like done shortly after that. I think according to the roadmap. I think, to be honest, for the roadmap, I remember the testnet the mainnet should have been in December, but we to be sure, right? We make sure that we run it more carefully, so it's gonna be at January. So maybe it's a bit late here, to be honest, compared to previous plan. But basically, I think what we want to do here is just to make sure that everything is all right. We don't want to like push something out there which is like not ready. We could have like pushed the product out there in December, but then again, if it wasn't ready, if our partners are not ready, if our partners are not like happy enough with that timeline, then it's not worth doing it. So that's why we kind of like we have to like do it a bit slower. But basically, other things will be, I think, we hope that everything will be done in time, or not like too far behind. And you will get a notice, and you will get like announcement of our development regularly, so that everybody will understand that we are still working on it, because for us this project is a very important part of like our journey. And yeah, that's the situation right now.
Very cool. And this is the last question I'm going to ask you, and it's pretty broad, and that's the idea. What's the end game for Islander? And what I mean by that is, in 5 years, the platform's a huge success. You've done everything you came here to do. What is the ecosystem that you've built look like?
I think what we want to do is we want to build we call it an island verse, where every player from crypto projects, influencers, to individuals and content creators, we want them to be able to connect, exchange values, and gain benefits in a sort of like a gamified economy. So we really want to do it, and we want to be a bridge to kind of like not only not only stop in the crypto world, but try to like increase the mass adoption of crypto through education activity, through like plugging into existing communities out there in the Web2 environment. So yeah, that's the end game for us. Is not we want to like make sure that we can do it. We can be sort of like an educational hub, and to connect different people, and then make sure that people can earn, and people can earn through learning, and earn through education. Because at the end of the day, we do believe that right now the entrance to the crypto world is still high, and there are a lot of things we have to do to educate people out there about, if we want to make crypto sort of more popular and more adopted. So yeah, we want to be a big part of that.
Very, very cool. It's been a real pleasure to watch you guys work over the past several months. We're really, really happy and proud to support you guys. I'm glad we could do this on Avalaunch, and I just want to thank you for your time and your team's commitment to this project. And yeah, we really appreciate you.
Thank you very much. And as I said, working with Avalanche has always been one of the best thing for us. We were lucky because I mean, like somehow we were like connected and it was very, very, I think it's a sort of like a turning point that could help us, that help a lot in the journey. Because I do think that when I look at myself when I first met you, and I look at myself right now, I look at the team right now, and back then, I think we have made a huge progress. And a lot of that is thanks to what you advise us so far. And I do believe that, in the coming time, we really hope that, we can work more with Avalanche more closely in a way that we both could help projects out there to go through what we have been through, because we have been there. We have known that, it is very helpful if you have someone who's actually know how to do it and have the, how do I say it, the decency to share it in the right way to the people. So yeah, in that sense, I think we share that values, and we really want to work with you in future cooperation as well.
Yeah, right on. Well, thank you for saying that. We're looking forward to what's to come for Islander and Avalaunch, and yeah, we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, and yeah, have a good day.
You too.